Well, it was I'm very proud of our guys for battling and fighting for 40 minutes. It's been a tough stretch for us, and I thought our guys came out, with, like I said, with a winning effort. I thought we had some other winning efforts. We came up short. Today, our winning effort, got rewarded. We were able to win the game against a good, Utah team who's been playing very well, got some really good wins. And I'm just really proud of our guys for the way they responded, after everything that we've gone through over the last, several weeks.
You just talked about what a tough stretch this has been. How big is this win for that locker room? Is it like a big weight lifted off your shoulders?
I think it is. I think it helps our guys from the standpoint of, it's hard to, when you're going through a losing streak like that, no matter what, you're trying to keep your guys' spirits up, you're trying to keep them positive, trying to keep them confident. Because this game is a lot about that. And when you're going through a stretch like that, it can get beat up some. And so, having a win like this, I think will help. I mean, I'm not, it doesn't solve everything. We have to get better X and O's in what we're doing, on the floor execution-wise. But it does help as far as their mindset as we move forward.
Johnny, prior to the 7-game losing streak, the team was competing with top-ranked teams in the nation and being up there, and you said everybody's up there. And it the momentum kind of died down during that 7-game losing streak. Where did you see tonight that the team came back from that 7-game losing streak?
Well, I thought I saw some amazing fight. I thought our guys were able to make the plays we needed to make, timely. I thought, they're a very good team. They're one of the biggest teams in the country. I think they're top 5 in the nation with regards to size and length. You're not going to play main teams as long as they are. They're very talented. I thought our guys did a good job of executing our game plan, which starts there every time. You got to execute your game plan. And I thought our guys made the plays that we needed to make. It was great to see, guys like Debo and Tyler who came in the game for us. They gave us a huge lift. Tyler in the first half, Debo in the second half, and they both defended well for us. So, we need everybody. We're a team that plays with our depth. And so having those guys, contribute to the way they did, I think was very, very impactful for our team.
Coach, you get down 12-2, 4 minutes in, then you call that timeout. You come out of the timeout, and guys are much more aggressive on the switch, especially Mustafa. It was really a level of physicality from him. He scored 9 of your 16 points in that 16-2 run. What was the message in that timeout that you think ignited your guys?
Well, I just talked to our guys about just playing every possession, just play it all out. Don't pace yourself. Go out there, leave it all out there on the floor, every possession. And that's something that we preach here a lot about how we want to play, how hard we want to play. And so our guys, I thought they came out of the timeout. I knew we didn't start the game off the way we wanted to. It wasn't the best start, but we had time to make up for that. And I thought our guys were able to do that with their aggressiveness and, just like I said, just their energy.
Coach, you guys had 33 points on the bench tonight. Tell us about the impact they had.
Like I said before, our bench, did a great job. I thought Debo and Tyler, especially those two guys, in the first half, I thought Tyler made some really good threes and timely shots for us with simple basketball plays. And I thought in the second half, Debo did the same thing. And then we had more guys, whether it's, Benny coming in, he was able to contribute for us as well. And so, Juice, because Juice is on the, came off the bench, so he was able to give us a huge lift as well. So those guys did a great job for us. Being ready for their opportunities. Everybody has to be a star in their role. And it's good to see those guys, make the plays that we know they're capable of, that we see every day in practice.
Johnny, you talked about this before, about you were willing to switch up the lineup, whatever you needed to do to break this, to get a win. Was that kind of the thought process of moving Juice maybe to the bench and maybe shaking up the lineup a little bit, or was that more of an injury-type based thing? You just didn't want to get in the start?
More of an injury-based thing for Juice, more of an injury-based thing for him and where he is and his preparation and what we're doing. But I thought he was terrific considering everything he went through in preparing for this game. I thought he gave us a huge lift. And the thing I loved about him, he played the same way he played if he started. His role didn't change from the standpoint of his mindset. Like sometimes a guy, look at their role being diminished if I went to the bench, but he took it, he had maturity. He was mature about how he approached it. You couldn't even tell if he was starting or came off the bench. He just was out there competing.
You talked about Tyler hitting some big threes in the first half. He also played some good defense in the post in the first half, combining with Mustafa. What did you see about those two guys kind of leading you in the first half?
Well, first, Tyler's easy to play with. He knows how to play. He pretty much keeps it simple on the floor. Basically, he doesn't do anything he can't do out there. And so, therefore, he's somebody that can consistently help you in a lot of different areas, whether it be defensively or offensively. and that's what he was able to do. I thought he made some big contributions with his activity defensively. He fought in the post. Post D is hard. Those guys are big. They're physical. He's down there battling Ezra. Ezra's probably about 6'8", about 240, 245. So, the young man did a great job for us with his fight, with his competitiveness. And Mustafa was great. The biggest thing I saw Mustafa do, of course, his offensive package is good. He's got a really good touch, can make shots. But the thing I saw him do tonight, which I hadn't seen him do as much, is his offensive rebound putbacks. I think he had like 3 or 4 offensive rebound putbacks. And that's something that he is capable of adding to his game. That's going to even help him to grow his game even more because, we know if he touches the ball, he can score. He has good touch. But now he's going and pursuing the basketball, making plays that way too. It's going to help him get better.
Debo Coleman had really been struggling offensively. You move him out of the starting lineup. He had a big night tonight. He had some big buckets. He had some big offensive rebounds. How did you like his bounce back?
I really loved his bounce back. He'd been in the funk, and players go through that. Nothing you can do. These are 18 to 22-year-olds. You're going to go through, even the NBA guys go through it periodically. So, he was in a little bit of a funk. So it was good to see him get his mojo back. Good to see him get out there and knock down the shots he knows he's capable of knocking down, play with confidence, play with aggressiveness. And that's who he's been, most of the season for us. So it's been a tough stretch. And but nobody's more disappointed than probably he was and me and everyone else because, we know we're representing something bigger than ourselves. We're representing our university, we're representing our students, our fans. And so we all want to win, obviously. And so I think that weight, because he cared, may have built up, even more and made it even more difficult for him to kind of shake it. So it took a little longer to shake it probably than maybe it would have, but it comes from a good place because I think he cared.
Earlier in the week, Keyshawn posted on the social media kind of an apology for the way things have been going and also a defense of you as the coach of the team. When you saw that, what did it mean to you, and do you feel like the guys kind of responded on behalf of that?
First, I don't keep up with any of that stuff. So for me, I'm oblivious until you tell me something like that. I'm not gonna know it. And I will say this, I love my guys. You know me. You guys have seen me long enough here. I'm a coach hard. I'm a coach, as hard as I can. I'm gonna teach, and I'm gonna compete as hard as I can every time out. And I appreciate you saying that they had my back, which is great. But but that says a lot about them and who they are and what they see on a daily basis. But they don't need to fight my battles for me. I'm fine. I've been blessed to do this, for a long time, and I love coaching. I love competing, and I'm gonna continue to love coaching and competing.
And I want to ask you real quick about the pregame evaluation for Juice, because when he was up here, he said he wasn't sure he was going to go today. So what was kind of the monitoring you guys had of him, and when did you know that he was ready to contribute to you?
Well, like I say, really didn't know until today because of his situation. But I know he's a tough kid. I've seen him play through a number of things all year long. He's played through some things that I've seen kids who they're gonna sit out for. So this young man, he's very competitive. He wants to compete, and so it's no surprise that he was able to muster up what he had to do to come out and compete again today because it's no surprise. We wouldn't put a young man out there. It's gonna put him in harm's way no matter what. And but it's something that he could play with or play through, and he was able to do that today.
We've talked all season about the leadership that Darius brings you guys, but what can be said about his composure in that moment with the game on the line, get the dribble drive, reverse layup, and how proud of him are you?
I'm extremely proud of him. We drew it up for him to have the ball at the end to make that play, and he made the play. We drew it up. We wanted him to create, off the dribble, with that time on the clock. We weren't sure if they were going to be in man or zone because they had gone some zone late in the game. And so we came out with a play that, we can run against both man and zone, but the bottom line is still puts the ball in his hands at the end to make the play. And he made the play. And so I'm very proud of him. He's a senior, senior moment, stepping up, when he had to. And so I'm very proud of him.
Speaking of those senior moments, Darius and Keyshawn were struggling throughout the night. They both step up late. I'm just wondering, what do you think about having guys like that maybe they're struggling having an off night, but they're able to hit buckets in the clutch?
The biggest thing for those guys is their composure, to stay composed and wait for your opportunities to present themselves. And I thought they both did, whether it's DJ, with the layup, or Keyshawn knocking down 2 big free throws when it's only a 2-point game with still 1.8 to go. I've seen stranger things happen. So if he goes 1 for 2, all of a sudden they get a Hail Mary, they can throw a 3-ball down there, and here we go again. So I was really, really proud of both of those guys making those plays at the end. They made winning plays. And so Those are guys we depend on, and I guess the game plan against them was to kind of take them out as best they could. And so I thought other guys had a chance to step up. And that's what you have to have when you have a good team. Other guys got to be ready for those moments and play off those guys. And I thought the rest of our team was able to do that today.
Johnny, when you go through a streak like that, losing streak like that, the players, we asked them earlier, they were elated to finally get that snap. But for you as a coach, how frustrating? I mean, you've probably been through it as a player and maybe an assistant at some point, but how frustrating and how much does it kind of take a toll on you as you're going through something like that, especially with how much the expectations were for this team going into the season?
Absolutely. I'd be lying if I say it wasn't challenging, because it is. I mean, it's very tough. And next, I have high expectations, even beyond expectations of what everyone has for us. Our own expectations and my expectations for us. So like I said, it's disappointing because I know what we're capable of doing, and I believe in our guys, and they believe in each other. Just you go through a stretch here. This league is very unforgiving. One game can become 2 quick, 2 can become 4, 4 can become 6, and it can be in the blink of an eye because there are no bye weeks or opportunity to kind of regroup and get in the gym and just concentrate on us for a week. You're going right to another opponent. We play today, that's a great, really good win. Then we got to turn around, we play Wednesday. We coming right back. So it's no time. And I think you see that if you look at the league, you see that going through with a number of the teams. They are going through similar situations where you're like, wow, but then all of a sudden they go through a stretch where they're doing well, they gain some momentum. And so that's what I'm learning about the league. You just have to keep going one game at a time, throw everything you can into it, and then you got to move on because there's no downtime. There's no time to kind of catch your breath. You're going right to another opponent.
I always want to ask about the defense tonight. Obviously, the defense hasn't been playing up to par this season, but they came in and forced 19 turnovers. Although Utah did shoot well from the field, you guys were able to make an impact on the game defensively that way.
No, absolutely. They're a terrific shooting team. And so, our defense is activity. We want to pressure. We want to try to turn you over. We want to play, up-tempo. And I thought we were able to do that through stretches of the game tonight. We were able to kind of get the game, played, the way we wanted to play it. And that can be challenging because they're trying to play it a certain way, and we're both fighting for our systems. But I thought our guys were able to do a good job of, forcing some turnovers, which leads out to some transition baskets for us. And that's when I think when we're at our best.
And how frustrating for you is, as we perceived as a defensive-minded coach, to see the team going through that losing streak mainly due to poor defense?
Yeah, it cuts me deep, to be quite frank, because that's the one thing we've always hung our hat on everywhere I've been is our ability to guard. And, we're capable, and I think we're getting that. Today was a good sign. I thought we guarded better today, but that's what we have to hang our hat there. If you're going to win anything significant, you're going to have to do it on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, it's good we got offense and guys that can score, and that's good, but defense is what wins at the end of the day. You got to guard better, and that's something for me because that's such a big emphasis for us and what we do that's been challenging. But our guys, not our guy. I mean, I'll take all the responsibility. Like I said, I don't need that. I'll take the blame for it. I got to do a better job at helping these guys understand what we're trying to do, understand our schemes a little bit better to try to help them because, we're all in this thing together. And their effort, they're trying to do the things, just that we have to do it better. We have to teach it better maybe to help them to, for it to stick.
Time for 1 or 2 more.
Coach, I know you're worried about Utah. I know you haven't jumped into the scouting report, but you got a big home game coming up on Wednesday against Kansas State. I know they struggled earlier, then they strung together some really good wins in the league. I know they've kind of been, like they've lost 3 in a row now, but just kind of been up and down. But just what do you know about Kansas State at this point?
I hadn't really seen much of them except when I'm scouting teams that we're playing. So when I scout the teams we're playing, I don't really look at the other team other than, are they playing man-to-man or are they up-tempo? I may pick up that stuff, but I don't really study them. So I'll start studying them today to find out, who they are. I know they're very talented. I do know that. I know Tang does a good job with his team. I do know that. So we've got to really work hard and prepare ourselves properly, because it's going to be another, hard-fought game.
Obviously, you're approaching the final stretch of the season. A big win takes the weight off your guys' shoulders. But now what's the message to the team to finish strong and pull out as many wins as you can?
Well, we have to keep it in perspective, and we have to take a next play mentality. As good as this was, we need to use this game going forward. Now that we've got a game we're able to win, but next game is next play for us. So we have to try to go 1-0 in the next game. So we take the lessons that we learned from this game. There's some positive things in this game, of course, but there's some things that we have to improve on from the stat sheet that we have to carry forward when we play, Kansas State coming up on Wednesday.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, y'all take care.